Hi guys, kyalblake here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, for 2020, goodbye 2019, goodbye to how I used to do my eyebrows and cover them up because it was shit. Oh, what? Kind of was shit, but it's better now. So, what I thought I should do for the start of the year, nice and easy one, just how I started the first video. Wasn't year when I first started, but anyway, whatever. Who cares? You don't. What I'm going to be doing is showing you how I have updated my eyebrow cover for probably the last half a year. Actually, I've probably changed it very quick after I did that video. But, as people are saying, find the cream, blah 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 blah. I will be honest, the first time I tried finding it, I couldn't find it anywhere, but I have now. So, and it has changed my life amazingly. So for this little tutorial, or how-to, is my little updated how I cover my eyebrows. You will need a couple of items that makes it a little bit easier. You don't need to have all of them, but it just makes it a little bit easier. But the first one you're going to need is the Pros-Aide cream adhesive. I'll say it's an adhesive. So this is what I'm going to be mainly using for covering my eyebrows. Yeah, as I said before, it's changed my life, my soul, my existence, and everything I am. The next thing you're going to need is also some isopropyl alcohol. Can't even say that right, oh my god. It's basically rubbing alcohol. This, in Australia we have Bunnings, you can find it there, it's about $12, or you can use vodka. But anywhere that sells basically an isopropyl alcohol itself, or rubbing alcohol, same thing, this is what you can use, which I'll get to why you'll need this later, you don't need it, but it helps, that's why, just get it. So the next thing you're going to need is also a disposable spoolie like this. Just put my hand up so you can actually see it like that. Obviously so you can separate the eyebrow hairs. God damn it, I can't speak today. Eyebrow hairs. And then also to put the Pros-Aide down. Next thing you're going to need is like a foundation powder itself, or a setting powder. This one is MAC NC, oh no, just N5. And obviously, it's not my color. And I should probably throw this one away because I've had this for probably about 8 years now, alright? So, it's still good for my eyebrows, it stayed there. Or alternatively, as I said before, you can use a setting powder. So something like this, the Kryolan blending powder, setting powder, in the color Flesh. I would prefer to always use something that has a bit more of like a pigment like this. It's a little bit more of an orange. That's good for also setting contour colors itself, because it won't, like a white, get rid of the color. So what you're also going to need is a little sponge like this. You can buy this from any little makeup shop itself, Kmart, Walmart, wherever the fuck you are in the world. These are pretty inexpensive, you can buy them, as I said, anywhere. So just a little sponge like this. And with this little sponge, what we're going to be using this with is the isopropyl alcohol, just so we can clean up the eyebrows. So, last thing you are going to need is a little spatula like this, a little metal application tool, we'll say that. This is an espresso coffee mixing stick thingamajiggy. So, let's get to it, and I'm going to zoom you in so you can see everything and no lies. And baby, you'll see me good. Yes. So let's start. So, as I said before, don't have to do this, but for me personally, I like to do it. I use the isopropyl alcohol itself. I'll spray it into the end of the sponge like this. Coat it, wet it, all of that. Don't need to dry it out because isopropyl alcohol itself will just evaporate by itself. And all we're going to do is just run this through the eyebrow. What this is going to do is help get rid of some of the oil so that the Pros-Aide itself can then stick better. If you are sensitive, dry skin, all that sort of stuff, this is when I would actually recommend to not use it, because it can irritate your skin. As you might see, mine may slightly go a little bit red. Who knows, who cares, but I'll deal with the pain for you. Then I'm going to use the spoolie itself, just go through, separate some of the eyebrow hairs itself. So now with the spoolie and the Pros-Aide, I'm just going to get out a little bit at the end of the spoolie, like that. Now I'm just going to run this through into my eyebrows. I always like to start halfway, just so a lot of the product doesn't get first stuck into the front of my eyebrow, because then it can look messy and gross. But simply just run it right through. Can be slightly messy with it. Just want to basically coat all the hairs. And with the clean part of the spoolie, just try and clean up some of those edges so it's not chunky and funky. A lot of people do say to brush them upwards. I do prefer to actually go with the natural direction of the hair. I do find with my hair itself, because I have over manicured mine and thinned them, all that sort of stuff, they lie down quite reasonably flat. Anyway, for those who might have thicker eyebrows, do run them upwards because it can create more of a surface for then the extra part of the Pros-Aide to sit on, where with mine it doesn't really matter. But I just prefer to lay them with the natural direction of the hair. So now that the Pros-Aide has been laid down, what I'm going to do is be a grotty bitch. You can use makeup wipes for this, but saliva just is good, cuts right through it, and just clean up the edge. So now while the Pros-Aide actually dries, as you'll see, it will go from a white to transparent, which will see the shine that comes off of it. What you're going to want to do is just wait for it to actually go completely clear, and I'll get back to you once it has done that in a moment. So now that the Pros-Aide has actually gone transparent, you can't see any more of the white, I'm going to use the sponge, going to literally coat the end of it in that setting powder. Now, like that, all coated, literally just press it right down. What this powder is going to do is stop it being sticky and tacky and just set it down. And you want to put a bit of force to it so that the hair that had the glue or the Pros-Aide on it will just lay flat. So now at this stage you literally could just go right over it and use your foundation, do all that, but because I want to be perfection, full coverage, can't see anything, no man Mary, we're going to be going a little bit more. So now I'm going to use that spatula. I'm going to get a nice little dollop of the Pros-Aide like this, and this I'm now just going to lay into the areas that I know will show a little bit more. As I said, always go into the middle and I'll just work it out to the end and towards the front. And the reason why I want to use the spatula is because Pros-Aide itself sets with heat, and because it's metal, will just stay nice and cold. And if I use my finger, it's going to help set it, and I don't want to do that at the moment. Now as you can see, it is quite messy. We will clean it up, but you just want to lay down as much of the product as possible in the areas that you think you're just going to need it. So now once again, finger, saliva, and just go right around the edge. If you do have excess on, you're not supposed to suck it off. Once again, use a little towel or some little wipe just to clean it off. But for me, I don't care about my health and safety, so we'll keep going. So now as a little bit of disclaimer, you don't want to be putting too much Pros-Aide on as like a thick clump in any sort of area when you're actually doing this, because it does take quite a while for it to set and actually become transparent. I'll try and time how long it actually takes for this to set, and this is relatively a thinnish sort of layer. As I said before, Pros-Aide does set well with heat. You can use a hairdryer, but because it is quite of a surface sort of heat itself, it sometimes sets a little bit more on the outer edges and itself on top and not really underneath, so you will be waiting a little bit longer. So it's best just to have your own body heat it from within, and it works. So obviously I'll come back once itself has set, but at this point, yep, you just want to wait, let it set. I will be back in just a moment. Alright guys, so now that the Pros-Aide itself has actually dried, some parts are just a tiny bit milky, just within the inner corner there, that's fine. You just don't want it to obviously be like still white underneath, like really white, because that's when it hasn't dried, it hasn't settled itself. I have waited probably about 15 to about 20 minutes to actually get to this sort of level. As I said, it does take a while for it to dry, but the result is worth waiting for. So what the next step is going to be, using that sponge, or a sponge once again, and the foundation powder is just coating the shit out of it and then pressing the powder into it. Some people I know, they do just go straight over with their foundation. I prefer not to, because I do use the Kryolan TV paint stick itself, and it does have quite a lot of oils in it, and I don't want that, because it is basically stick grease makeup itself, I don't want that to then disrupt the Pros-Aide itself. So sponge, foundation powder or setting powder, either or. Now just pressing that shit once in again. 8-year-old powder's doing quite well. Or 7, I can't remember. See, basically nearly gone straight away. Yes. But as you can see, basically smooth. You can't see anything or like any little ridges itself. This has changed my eyebrow game. But obviously for demonstration and illustration purposes only, I'm going to go through my normal foundation like paint stick that I normally use, which is in 4W. I'm just going to run this over like I normally would with anything else. So guys, that's basically it. 2020 eyebrows, we're gone, snatched, back. So what I did do, I also did set the foundation itself, so obviously you could actually see how it all works together. And as normal, you still always see that little tinge of eyebrow underneath itself, like with the color itself, but for the texture itself actually being gone, like once I've got all my eyeshadow on, all that sort of stuff, you cannot see it at all. So even from this distance itself, you can't see any texture, you can't see any sort of wrinkles. It is basically fucking smooth and gone, which is great for 2020, just like 2019 bad girl. And also I want to say sorry for kind of being a bit MIA through the last couple of months. I do work a 9-to-5 job, so this is quite difficult for me to do when I don't really have a lot of spare time, and I work on quite extensive projects itself at work. I won't tell you what it is, so we'll stay tuned for maybe later on. But I'm also in the process of building a house, so once again, more stress, more shit going on in my life, and oh my god, can it fucking stop? No. But I can't wait obviously for 2020 itself, because my house is going to start getting built. 2021 hopefully we'll actually be moving into it. They'll have a whole new beauty space itself and actually fucking room. So yeah, that's going to be so much better for me, for you, potentially for you. I don't know, who cares? It's my room. So as always, thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.